Emma was tired of her life. Every day felt the same: school, homework, and then lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. Her parents were always busy, and she didn't have many friends. She felt alone most of the time. One night, as she lay in her room, the wind outside howled louder than usual. Her window shook a little, but she didn't care. She turned to her side and tucked the blanket around her. That's when she heard a low humming sound coming from under her bed. At first, she thought it was just her imagination. But the sound didn't stop. It got louder. Curious and a little scared, Emma slowly got out of bed and knelt down. She lifted the blanket and looked under. There was nothing there, just darkness. But the humming was real. She reached out to touch the floor, and suddenly her hand disappeared. Her heart jumped. She pulled her hand back quickly, staring in shock. Where her hand had gone, there was now a soft blue light. Emma hesitated, then took a deep breath and pushed her whole arm through. It didn't hurt. In fact, the light felt warm and gentle. Her curiosity grew stronger than her fear. She took one last look at her room, then crawled under the bed and let the light take her in. She fell through the light, spinning slowly like a feather in the wind. The air smelled sweet, like flowers after rain. When she landed, she was in a wide field with tall, glowing grass. The sky was pink, and two suns shone above. Emma's eyes grew wide. She stood up slowly, brushing the dust from her clothes. All around her were strange trees with glass-like leaves that made soft music when the wind touched them. A small creature with big eyes and soft fur came up to her. It looked like a mix between a cat and a rabbit. It spoke, not with words, but directly into her mind. "You are the first human to arrive in 1,000 years, it said. Emma was stunned. She could understand it clearly, even though it didn't move its mouth. The creature led her through the glowing forest to a city made of floating stones. The buildings moved slowly in the air, held up by some kind of magic. Lights floated above the streets like lanterns with wings. People there looked human but had bright patterns on their skin and hair that moved like flowing water. They welcomed her kindly. "You are the one we've been waiting for," one of them said. "The portal under your bed shows you." Emma didn't understand what they meant, but they took her to a large crystal tower in the center of the city. Inside, there was a round room with mirrors that showed not her reflection, but different moments in her life, some happy, some sad. "This world reflects your heart," said the creature that had brought her. "When you are lost, it brings you here to remember who you are." Emma began to feel something strange. Her sadness and loneliness were still there, but in this world they felt smaller. People listened when she spoke. She helped the city by solving puzzles in the crystal tower, puzzles that no one else could solve. With each answer, the city glowed brighter, and so did Emma's heart. She stayed there for what felt like days, maybe weeks. Time didn't move the same way. But one day, the creature told her it was time to go back. "The world needs you," it said. "And now you are ready." Emma didn't want to leave, but she knew she couldn't stay forever. The creature gave her a small stone that glowed like the portal. "Whenever you need to remember who you are, hold this," it said. She stepped back into the light and woke up in her bed. The humming was gone. The room was quiet. Morning sunlight touched her curtains. Emma sat up slowly, holding the glowing stone in her hand. Her heart felt calm. She looked around her room and smiled for the first time in a long time. She wasn't alone anymore. She had found something inside herself that would never fade. Every night after that, when the world felt too heavy, she would look under her bed not to escape, but to remind herself that magic was real, and it had chosen her.